Hey everyone, it's me Hallease, endeavoring to persevere as always. If you're new here, I make videos about my chaotic good life. Subscribe, follow, social media, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, do it. Do it. In this video, I want to talk about some of my favorite natural deodorants that I've tried thus far. If you've been with me for a while, then you know that I've been on this natural deodorant kick of trying different ones and seeing which ones work, which ones don't, comparing them based on price point, all those different things. So in this video, I want to just go over some of my favorites and say why they're my favorites, and also give y'all a review of Native. So many of y'all commented on my last natural deodorant video asking me to review Native, and I have been reviewing it in the background for a few months now. So in this video, I'll also do a comprehensive review of that. I have hyperhidrosis, which basically just means I sweat excessively. And over the last few years, I've begun to move away from using traditional antiperspirants and just chilling with the sweat. The biggest thing I look for in a natural deodorant is that it has some sort of compound to help fight the bacteria, because the bacteria ultimately is what makes you stink. I'm not so much interested anymore in stopping my excessive sweating. I've learned to just kind of live with it, adjusted my lifestyle accordingly. I just don't want to smell bad. That's the big thing. First things first, before we get into this Native deodorant review, hard pause on the name. You know, just me and my melanated self. I feel a certain type way. Marketing wise, I get it. It's memorable or whatever, but you know, hard pause for me. I went ahead and bought their 3-pack so that way I could try, you know, a variety of different scents to see which one worked best for me. So I bought their coconut and vanilla, which is said to be, on their website anyway, is said to be the most popular scent that they have for women. And then I also got their linen and cotton. And finally, I got their unscented. My favorite, as you can probably tell by how these look, was the linen and cotton. I really liked it because something that really bothers me about these natural deodorants is that even though their scents are named, you still kind of don't really know what you're getting at all. When I saw linen and cotton, I immediately thought, I know what that smells like and I will like what that smells like. So I got that one. With the coconut and vanilla, I felt like I knew what it would smell like as well. It's a nice smell. I would say heavier coconut than vanilla notes, but overall nice. And when I say coconut, I mean like synthetic coconut smell, not what an actual coconut smells like. Compared to a product like Lume, for example, one of their scents is lavender, and it's not your drugstore scent lavender. It is a plant lavender smell, which is different, you know what I mean? Native is definitely going for that drugstore, you know, cherry sweet kind of titling and naming, which actually ends up helping because you know what you're getting with that. The linen and cotton, again, I picked it because, yup, that's linen and that's cotton. Yeah, it's like your favorite fabric softener, you know, just kind of like very sweet, but very like, there's orange in it, if that helps. The coconut and vanilla didn't work on me at all. By midday, I felt like I needed to reapply, and I didn't like how it was meshing with my natural odor at all. My other least favorite was the unscented. I felt like it didn't really do anything at all. The thing that's crazy to me about Native's unscented though, is that it smells like nothing. Yeah, and that freaks me out, which also I think might be why it didn't work that well for me. There was something about it that just by midday, I just stank. It was as if I hadn't put anything on, which was weird because the linen and cotton, I don't know if the scent is just that strong on me and just works that well with me that it worked, but I felt like the linen and cotton, I could put this on and I could go throughout the day for the most part. That being said, I will definitely be keeping linen and cotton and finishing it. The one thing I will say about this scent as well too, that's kind of a bummer, is that this is a scent that they don't have year round. They bring it back arbitrarily, I guess. In regards to Native's packaging and construction, really nice. The applicator feels nice and sturdy. It feels very strong and like it's not gonna fall apart. So there's a weird sort of inconsistency with the labeling and packaging of the product. For example, the unscented is stickered, whereas the coconut and vanilla is not. It looks like it's put directly onto the container itself rather than a sticker. I received all of them in the same box, in the same packaging. As you can see with this one, the packaging and the labeling is wearing off. And I haven't had the product for very long, only a couple months. So the fact that it's kind of wearing off, and I didn't wear this every day. I would wear it for a few days and then try another natural deodorant to compare and contrast. So it's not even that I've had it for a few months and used it daily. I've had it for a few months and used it maybe half of that time. So consistency of the product. Comparatively to other natural deodorants, this one is a solid. Upon contact, it rubs off very easily. Meshing it in my hand, you do feel just like a little bit of texture from the product being applied onto you. So when you put it on, you will feel that as well under your arms. I would stroke, when I did apply this, I would stroke 3 times. And that left enough of the product on for me to immediately smell it and know that it's there and see a little bit of residue, but it would go away relatively quickly. So like I said, this is a solid comparatively to other natural deodorants that I find like that they're a little more liquid than solid, if that makes sense. Now, the thing that's really interesting about Native is recently I've started to see it in CVS and Target. Before, you could only order it online. I've also heard people say that because it's now more widely available and distributed, that's kind of messed with the formula of the product. I can't speak on that, but it is now available at Target and CVS, and that does kind of help with the price point a little bit because now you're not having to worry about shipping and tax on top of that. You're just thinking about tax when you go to buy it. Like I said, I bought mine in a 3-pack so that way I could try a variety of things for you all, mostly for this different scents, and give you a review of them. But if I had to say, comparatively, Native compared with, you know, other natural deodorants, don't get me wrong, I really like the linen and cotton. If, you know, that's the one I want to keep of the 3 for sure. But if you're looking for something unscented that you can use not only under your arms, but in other parts of your body too, then I would say to reach for, and you're willing to spend the money, that's the other thing too, then I would say to try 2 others. I would say to give either Lume a try or give Lone a try. And if I had to rate these 2, I would go Lone over Lume. Lone is still a very small company from what I can tell, and I have given a full review of their deodorant on my channel. Go and check it out if you want. Link will be in the description box and probably in the Eye of Sauron. But I really like Lone's deodorant. It's unscented. They do have some scents, and I believe that the owner has recently come out with a few other new scents that are new, but I haven't tried them yet. I really like it though because they use sea salts, and that's another thing too. Native does also use a bit of baking soda in their formula, and so if you're allergic to baking soda, which I've found from doing these natural deodorant videos that a lot of you are, you might want to stay away from Native because they do have that. But I love Lone because they use sea salt as their sort of bacteria fighting ingredient, and you can use this more or less anywhere. In my original video, I thought that it was only available for your underarms, but Lone reached out to me after I made that video and let me know that you can use their product everywhere. They just don't advertise that because they want to make sure that you don't do it incorrectly and cross-contaminate the applicator. So if you want to use it all over, they recommend getting the tube version, so that way you can do that. It stays on my skin. It's a little sticky, but I can go a whole day and like not smell at all. Even if I am kind of in a little bit of a stressful situation, yeah, I'm sweating, but I don't stink. Lume is my second choice if you're trying to go higher end natural deodorant, only because they're available and like people seem to know who they are. 72 hours, no. And I do feel like their unscented, this is their juniper, which I did not like the smell, but I do feel like their unscented isn't too strong. It has a little bit of an earthy tone, but it dissipates quickly. The one thing about Lume too is that it wasn't that I stank by the end of the day, but it was just that I had a smell that I was not familiar with. Whereas with Lone, I just didn't stink and I smelled like myself. Finally, if you're looking for just a drugstore equivalent to just get into this and give it a try, if you will, I would still recommend my top two, Crystal and Arm & Hammer. Arm & Hammer's unscented. It does have a slight scent to it, just having a little bit of geranium, chamomile, coriander, orange. Like there's a lot of natural ingredients in here that naturally give off a scent, so you smell that. But again, if you're allergic to baking soda, yeah, this isn't gonna be the thing for you. But if you're not, it's very widely available. It's gonna be at most drugstores, it's gonna be at most grocery stores, and it's very inexpensive. It's very affordable comparatively to these other, I guess, higher end natural deodorants. The other I would recommend is Crystal. They have an unscented as well, and similar to Lone, Crystal uses salt to fight off the bacteria, and they also have scents too. I've tried their white tea and jasmine, I think that's what it's called. It's the purple top. I've tried that one and I liked the smell more or less. Again, I think the thing about this one is that it's a liquid. I think they do have a solid. With the liquid roll-on, I don't like it as much because so much about having hyperhidrosis is like a mental thing too, of like anxiety. And so if you put it on, you just still feel moist, which then triggers a little bit of anxiety, and you're like, you just start sweating because you're like, I'm already sweating. I tend to lean more towards solid liquids or solids because you put it on and you don't feel wet still. I'm just a moist person in general, so I'm always a little scared. But those are my biggest recommendations for natural deodorants. Lone is still my favorite. In the comments below, if there are any other natural deodorants you would like me to try, let me know. And I will try to do as comprehensive a review of them as I can. Again, I wanted this to be a review of Native, but also an overview of just a few other products in comparison, so that way you can see what's kind of out there. There are so many natural deodorants out there. This video probably only taps the surface, but I figured at least this is a good jump off if you're new to this and want to get into it. Big shout out to my Patreon producers who are my production team for this channel. Y'all keep this whole thing going. If you're interested in joining the production team, patreon.com/Hallease. There you get early access to videos, private weekly videos from me, and so much more. Again, I'm Hallease, and I'll see you when I see you.